Hello everyone, this is Jasper. This is HT Waters Tarot and this is story time. I'm going to tell you a story about my two dogs. Jess, come here. Yeah, he doesn't necessarily listen very well. This is Iris, who does listen better and loves to chase her ball and fetch. This story is about how Iris and Jasper went to the park and what happened. I hope everyone's having a great day wherever you may be. This is story time with tarot, and I just pulled these two cards of representative of Jasper and Iris. As I mentioned before, I'm a writer, so all of this energy of writing and taking stories and kind of bringing them to fruition is part of what I love to do. And I hope my enthusiasm kind of comes across in this reading anyways. So what I did was pull two cards, one to represent Jasper, which is the Knight of Cups, and one to represent Iris. In there, so the Knight of Cups, you can see that, that's a very kind of energetic, young energy, enthusiastic, full of affection, still kind of young. And then there's Queen of Pentacles, which is more of a mature, and my Golden Retriever is a little more mature than my Knight of Cups, but they're both playful. So what was happening, we went to the park, and just imagine this, it's a beautiful day, and at the park on every Friday, some of the dog owners get together and put together a table with food on it. And there is wine and food. I don't usually partake because I don't have a lot of time in the day, so I'm usually just playing with my dogs and making sure they get their exercise they need. So Jasper and Iris are playing, chasing the ball, and just having their usual fun time with that. And I'll show you some more videos of them playing together, and you'll see what they do. But that said, while we were doing this, and Iris was obsessed with me just throwing her ball, doing that chuck it, which sends it like a bionic arm about, I don't know, 6,000 feet. That's probably an exaggeration. But as I said, artistic license here because I am a writer. I love to exaggerate a bit. So anyways, I'm chucking the ball. It goes really, really far. And sometimes I have to retrieve it because Iris gets distracted, or Jasper comes in and bowls his way into her and tries to take it from her. That's just his energy. But by the end, they were pretty tired. We'd been there for a good 40 minutes. And Iris is a great, my pit bull mix is a great socializer. So, of course, he goes over, and there's other dogs over there too, and starts to hang out with the wine and cheese folks. And he's sitting there, and I'm kind of not paying too much attention because it's fine. He's taken care of. He's not making any ruckus or anything. So Iris, I keep throwing the ball for her, and she keeps bringing it back. She doesn't go over there. And so it's time to go. So I put her on a lead and expect Jasper to follow, which he typically does. So when we get to the car, get into our car, I have Iris in the trunk, and lo and behold, the energy behind us is different. So Jasper's still at the party. Like any good teenage boy, he's just under 20, I would say, in dog years. I mean, in people years. In dog years, he's less than 3 years old. So he's not quite 21 yet. But he still has that energy of being a 21-year-old. So the environment that he was left behind in, which I don't really know about, except that I know the people that are there, and they're usually pretty responsible. But there's a little bit of stuff going on. There's a Queen of Cups reversed, which means someone who's a little emotionally controlling, maybe, which is really funny. So there's an environment here of people sort of doing their thing, maybe talking, maybe a bit of gossip going, and some young age energy of the Page of Cups, which is generous, and you can even see this. So basically, we're waiting for Jasper. Jasper doesn't do anything. So I leave Iris in the car and I go in search of Jasper. So what is he doing? What is Jasper doing at the party? So let me see. What is Jasper doing at the party? 3 of Pentacles. So he's working it. He's working it. He's working it with the party people. That, you know, maybe a little bit of emotional manipulation, maybe on his part. A Page of Cups is that young energy of hopefulness and being there emotionally present. And of course, Iris is back in the car being mature. Queen of Pentacles energy. So practical. So what else is Jasper up to? 8 of Wands, there's a message in reverse. So there's some stagnation there. So he's been waiting around a while. So have us. So have we, because we've been waiting for him to come back to the car. So that's so if you can see that, hopefully I'll just bring these down a bit. But there's a little bit of reverse energy here. It's nothing serious, of course. These are dogs, so, and you know, kind enough people. But there's some energy here that's a bit, he's doing his begging. That's what's going on. He's begging. He's begging. He's waiting to get some results, but there's some stagnation. So he's still there, and we're waiting. And then there's some more celebration. And this all comes to light because when I get there, what's going on? There's a 5 of Pentacles. So there's some loss because we have to take him away. And then one of the kind women there said, oh, yeah, he's been having a good time. He's just been sitting here, and I've been giving him some tidbits. And apparently there have been some other people giving him things, maybe cheese or such. I don't know what else he got into while we were gone, but in that sense, he was partying. He was partying. So now he's got some regrets, and that's what happened. So basically, after he indulged, guess what happened? He had some regrets, and that's because he overindulged at the party. Yeah, 10 of Wands, feeling the burdens of that partying. It's too much for a little dog, even they're cute little dogs. How could we resist that face? That's what happens. So the story is that we finally had to put him on a leash and get him back in the car. He looked fine. He looked dandy. He was happy. He had his dinner. But by midnight, he had thrown up and done other business that wasn't very attractive. I won't go into great gruesome details. Lo and behold, he overindulged, which we know we can do. Problem with dogs, of course, is they don't know better. We always have to manage that. And unfortunately, I was gone. I was absent. That was probably a bit of that Queen of Cups energy, like, oh, let him be, he'll follow. But there you go. So the moral of the story is don't let your dogs out of your sight, because you never know what they're going to be doing. You never know what kind soul is going to decide they deserve a piece of bread or a piece of cheese. But that's what happens. He's fine now. He just didn't feel too great. He's had a bit of the runs and the throwing up. And of course, we suffer for that because he groans and he whines. And sometimes he doesn't wait to get outdoors, but he's in recovery mode. We give him boiled rice and unseasoned chicken and some carrots and such. And he loves that. And it's fresh and it's wholesome. So he's all better now. But I thought that was an interesting tale of overindulgence as a youngin, and what happens, what comes to fruition because of it. And unlike dogs, of course, we can learn our lessons, but dogs will continue to be dogs and will continue to eat what he wants. Although, what's really interesting, just on a side note, Iris, my charming golden, and they love food, don't get me wrong. She didn't do any of that because she's older now, and maybe she knows better, or she'd just rather be with mom and dad. Whereas Jasper, who's been all his life a bit of a street dog because we got him as a rescue. He was, if you're familiar with California, there's an area called the Central Valley, and dogs get abandoned in that area, and so shelters have to ship them to different shelters in order to have them adopted. He was socialized Our Jazzy was socialized, but I suppose for whatever reason he ended up on the streets, and therefore he was always relying on the kindness of others. To quote Tennessee Williams, A Streetcar Named Desire, he was always relying on the kindness of others. So he was that's what he's used to. He's an interesting dog. He's a survivalist, survivor. He knows how to do that. He knows how to get people to give him things. And at first he was a bit nervous and anxious when he came to us, but now he's fully adapted and he's a lot of fun. I encourage you to get dogs. Rescue dogs are great too, obviously. But my friendship with them makes me a better person in general. And now I've learned my lesson. You don't leave them alone. Even though strangers are perfectly well-meaning. I mean, they weren't complete strangers, so again, I knew they were safe, but you never know what they might get up to because they're cute and they inspire people to give them things that maybe they don't and should not get. So that's the story. I hope you enjoyed it. Great energy here in this story. I like stories where nothing terrible happens. In the end, everything's good, and we're happy to say life is good. So take care, everyone, and I'll see you hopefully in another reading if you continue to like my tarot story time. Bye.
Now we can take some energy out of Iris.
This is what we wanted them to do. So
Yeah. This is exactly the purpose, right?
But we can't take Jasper to the dog park or anything like that until he's fully adopted. But he's had all his shots and everything.